YouTube? 1LAX Ram here on this Saturday morning at like 6:40. Like you probably guess, I am headed to work at 6 in the morning on Saturday. Yes, it does suck, but someone's got to make the cheddar. So the topic for today's vlog is driver's aid. And by that, I mean as far as cars go, the electronic aids that they have to keep them safe while driving, and whether or not they're actually more of a hindrance as opposed to being helpful. And pretty much what I want to know from you guys is, what your opinion? Do you think that the car is controlling too much of the driving, or is it trying to make it safer for people? I'll, on my way back from work, give you what my opinion is. Also, we can kind of throw in driver aids as far as motorcycles go. Me being the fact that I am on a bike that has so many of them, I'll go into how having all these aids has affected how I ride. So we'll get into this beautiful topic of driver aids when I get back from work. All right. So back to the topic of car and driver aids and bike rider aids, whether they are actually more of a hindrance more than they are an aid and helpful. So my belief and my view on it for vehicles mainly is that I feel that they are more shit, I closed my back. There you go. I feel like they are more of a distraction than anything. And the reasoning behind this is we are relying too much on the aids to tell us what is going on around us, as opposed to actually looking to what is going on around us. And that complacency and reliance on something else to do what we should be doing in the first place is the reason why it is more of hindrance for us. To give an example of that, I was pulling in a newer Ford vehicle into my bay, and I have walls on either side of me. Well, as I was pulling it in, I'm looking at both mirrors, I'm looking straight ahead of where I need to go and whatnot, and I'm scanning, and all of a sudden this loud beeping went off. I was like, what the hell is that? And it's the warning that something is coming in close to you. That right there took my attention away to what it is I was already doing, which is looking around and making sure I wasn't going to hit the car on anything. So if I was startled by it, then I know 90% of the drivers out there would also be distracted by it, because I know they don't know what the hell that is. Most of the drivers out there don't read their owner's manual, so they don't know what each one of these driver's aids are actually doing for them. Whether I understand what it is that the car companies are trying to do, they're trying to limit the, you know, crashes and fatalities and whatnot by alerting drivers to say, hey, you're going over a line, or hey, something's close to you. The downside is that people are relying solely on these particular aids and not doing the checks they need, because even though the sensors work pretty damn good, they are not almost instant all the time, especially a bike or something comes up quickly behind them. And I feel the reaction of, oh shit, something's by me real quick, is a really bad reaction, because that's how accidents happen. It's a distraction and an over response. So that's kind of the whole spiel on cars and the driving aids that they provide. Are they good? Sometimes. Not all the time. The drivers should not be, just because you have the aid doesn't negate the fact that you still have to do what a driver does, which is pay attention to everything going on around them and not be distracted. Now, as far as rider aids, because I am riding a bike that has a ton of them, a huge amount of them, I feel they are not as much of a hindrance because you aren't visually distracted by them, or audibly distracted by them, like you are with cars. This bike has ABS front and rear. In race mode, it only has ABS in the front. So to me, I feel that is a huge advantage to riding, because when you have to do a panic stop, you no longer have to be over worried about locking up the front brakes, because these front brakes are very powerful. So you can a little bit more aggressively apply them. Does that feed into the whole complacency? Kind of, but not really. As far as Christ, fucking dumbass in a Prius. Now, as far as traction control and whatnot, you know, again, I don't see that as a huge hindrance either, because right there, if I had to blip the throttle just a little bit too much, it could have broken the back wheel loose. Again, that should be a riding thing that you should be paying attention to, but at the same time, you're having less accidents due to errors while riding. Now, an accident or an error produced while riding is hugely more detrimental, because not only can you wipe out in front of other cars and then get run over by them, but I mean, you can also just crash yourself, which, you know, is obviously not a good thing. So I feel that driver aids on motorcycles are a lot more beneficial than they are on cars. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think the same way? Do you feel that automotive driver aids are more of a hindrance because they kind of instill a false sense of security and complacency? Or do you feel that they are definitely warranted and you know, help prevent a lot less crashes? So all you guys gotta do is leave me a comment, a video message in response to these questions, and let me know what y'all think. Y'all have a good one.